evening, Sphinx Army. Welcome to the best social club in the world, the Sphinx Club. Liam Cook here, reviewing what has been an incredible season, really, on and off the pitch, with three men who have been absolutely instrumental in making it happen. Buzzy, Danny, Fletch. I honestly cannot thank you on behalf of all the Sphinx supporters for everything that you've done this year. A lot of people doubted us when we went up, whether we would A, be able to get it done on the pitch, and B, get it done off the pitch. We've achieved both of those goals. How would you sum up your feelings on this truly historic season for the club?
A lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights, fantastic achievement by everybody. We've made history. I think the last team that was in at this level was Coventry Sphinx some 40 years ago. But to get to where we are now, it isn't just down to me, Joey and Buzzy, it's to the managers and it's to the players to get to this standard. Albeit, yes, we had to go through ground grading, and that was a chore in itself, but what we tried to do, I think we established that we wouldn't give those worries to the managers and players. That was our worry, that was our concern, and we delivered it. And you know, we're proud. We're really proud of it.
Buzzy, same question to you.
Yeah, it's been tough. As Danny says, we've had a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, when the league chairman came here in October, he said we've got no chance of getting the ground grading through before the 31st of March deadline. But after a few setbacks, particularly with the weather, we had a lot of wet weather, which slowed down the contractors, and they weren't able to get on with the work as quickly as they would have liked. But when the chairman came again in against Rugby in February, he was really impressed with the progress we've made in that short time. And then the last month of March, from the 1st of March through to the 31st of March, it was all hands on deck, and we got there, and we got there with, as Danny said, a lot of sleepless nights. I've got to say the contractors, Cahill contractors, did a brilliant job. Their workmanship's been fantastic, and the whole job has gone well. It hasn't gone smoothly. I mean, it's been a long process from when we got promotion this time last year. We had to apply for planning permission and funding and all that sort of thing. It's been a long, drawn-out process, but 31st of March was Easter Sunday, and I think we had a really good Easter because we knew we'd got there, and we did really well. So from that point of view, I'm really pleased. On the football side of things, I've managed to see most of the games, not all of them, and the lads have played really well. There's only been the odd game against the really top 4 or 5 teams where we sort of really had some heavy defeats, but apart from that, we've been competitive in every game. We've had a lot of draws, which could easily have been wins, and we've had defeats by the odd goal. So there's plenty to look forward to for next year. I don't think, although our league position was close at the end and we were in the bottom 4 and we stayed up by goal difference, I don't think we were that far away from being a mid-table side. I can think of a lot of games where we were winning in winning situations and they ended up in draws, and 4 or 5, 6, 8 points, we'd have been up there with the Bolmeres and the Cozal and all that sort of thing. So I think all in all we have to be satisfied. Obviously we were sweating a bit at the end when we were looking at the results of the teams that possibly could have wanted teams to lose, and all looking at the goal difference, but we got there, and at the end of the day it was a good achievement by everybody.
Incredible achievement, of course, job done. Finally, Joey, over to you.
Yeah, it's a big task in front of us, trying to get the ground grading up to standard. I had every confidence we'd get there. I had no disbelief whatsoever. You know, Danny and Buzzy were panicking a little bit, and I used to say to them, calm down, it will be done. Don't worry, it will be done. And you know, like, we got over the line, we've done everything we've had to do. So yeah, we've got there. And you know, to be honest, it's not just us three, it's the whole club. You've got Dave Ball, other people involved, you've got the ground staff who worked really tirelessly we asked them to do projects, and they got them done on time, and that's what it was all about, just getting everything done in schedules, on time, done. Contractors, fantastic, absolutely superb for us. So, you know, no complaints whatsoever. We had a target and we met it. That was our job to do. On the pitch, again, a different story. A massive learning curve for us completely, because we've never been at this level. I've played at this level, but the standard has gone up and up and up. Between level 5 and level 4 is massive, a huge difference, and we've learned that this year, and obviously we're looking to improve next year. So, you know, we don't want to be battling in relegation. We're going to go for it next year and make sure we're more than safe next year. Massive task for us, but we're determined to get it done.
I think that because the players we had the previous season who got us there, they were given an opportunity to hold our own, and they just about managed. You know, we owed that to them, and they just about managed to keep us where, you know, our status, which is what it's all about. And all credit to them, all credit to the boys and to John and to Sean.
Well, the 2022-23 season was a near perfect campaign, off and on the pitch. Promotion to Step 4 as champions for the first time in the club's history at Step 5, and the future of Sphinx Drive secured with the acquisition of the freehold of the land. How vital to the club's future was promotion and the ground security gained last summer?
Vital. By actually getting to a situation where we've got the freehold, we then can take our ambitions forward. That in itself gave us a very sound basis to grow. Fantastic achievement in this day and age, and I can talk, you know, about the, you know, Joey and Buzzy. Sometimes I keep on pinching myself. How did we manage to do this? You know, in this day and age. But we've done it, and it was a grind. It was during COVID and all the rest of it, but we got there. So the sound foundation has been set, and we always said getting the foundations right financially is top priority, and we've got there. So we can now start to build. We've got aspirations to do more, a lot more. But, you know, over the years, what we've done as a club, and, you know, without having, you've got the head and you've got the heart. The head would say, you know, we go steady. We're not going to start sprinting into this and making rash decisions. Every decision we've made has been the right decision because we've given ourselves time. And with the football aspect, with the first team coming together, with getting promotion, fantastic. The great benefit now is that this 15 acres that we've got means that we can do what we want within constraints of planning permission and all the rest of it. We don't have to go to our landlord. You know, we want to do this, we want to do that, can we do this? And it's chapter and verse. But because we're now freehold owners, we can do what we want as long as we go through the guidelines as far as planning permission is concerned. So, you know, we're going to be around for many, many years when the three of us are 6 foot under. There's a football club here, and there always will be a football club here. And I'm, Joey and Buzzy haven't said it yet, what a proud moment for the three of us that we've managed to nail that. And that has always been an ambition for many, many years. And we've done it, and bless him, Willie Nibbs isn't here anymore. Willie, I'm sure, looking down on us, was right behind us because that's one of his ambitions as well. So a very proud moment for us all.
It was a very, I agree with what Danny's saying there. And now that we own the freehold, it gives us lots of opportunities in terms of funding. Obviously my area within the club is finance. There's far more funding opportunities available to the club should we ever need funding when you own the freehold as opposed to when we were like leasehold tenants and that sort of thing. So that's another benefit to us all. we're not looking over our shoulders, frightened that we're going to get kicked off the site or anything like that, which was always the case, and we had a secure lease before that. But even so, the fact that we've got this freehold now, we're as here in perpetuity. I hope I said that right. Perpetuity, as opposed to restricted by the clauses in the lease, etc. So yeah, I mean, it enables us to move forward in that respect.
Yeah, as you say, fantastic. I mean, I'll go back to the dark old days when the key was about to be put in the front lock of this club to close down, because the old committee were no longer interested in running it, and they wanted to hand it back to Rolls-Royce and say the club's finished. And as a group, we took the risk of taking it over with no lease,
With
no
the debt as well,
guarantees.
Joe, with the debt.
With 110 grand debt that Rolls-Royce were paying, that they said they were going to refuse to pay going forward, and we had to take it on. And if we wanted to take it on, they would, you know, like give us the run of the club. But as you say, it was on a 12-month basis. We took the risk. We could see the potential in the club, but it was dark old days at them times. The club was making no money whatsoever. As you say, it was in debt, 110 grand a year. It was losing money. So, you know, as three of us, we took the chance. There was Rich Hopkins as well involved. We took the opportunity to take it on, and to be honest, I think in the end we got what we deserved, because, you know, we signed a 20-year lease, 25-year lease with Rolls-Royce. We put a 3G facility with no funding whatsoever, off our own back, on the 9-a-side pitch, and then things just started to roll on and roll on. And then we had the news that Rolls-Royce were not interested in the ground anymore. They were going to sell it, and the deal we struck with the developers it's like a dream deal.
Fairy tale stuff.
It is really fairy tale. So it's come a long way. It's been a long, you know, hard 10, 12 years, but we've got there in the end, and the whole club's benefiting. You know, we've got 26 sides at the moment playing here, but it is now a football club. It's not a social club anymore, it's a football club.
And of course,
so we're very proud of that.
none of this would have been possible, obviously, without you guys. You put in so many hard hours over the last, as you say, 12 years. But of course, a football club is nothing without its volunteers and its fans. I mean, their hard work has ensured that Sphinx has a very bright future.
Yeah, as you say, that at the start there was three of us. No volunteers, no nothing.
There was nobody at the door waiting.
No one at the door waiting. But we've gradually got people on board. Say Dave Bald's an absolute superstar with the juniors. As you say, we've got juniors involved, and that's how we've grown the club. You have to have a vision. We had a vision of where we wanted to get to. It's taken a long time, but you're saying without people, volunteers, we all do it for nothing. We all do it for nothing. Without volunteers, it's not a club anymore. But the volunteers love it.
Basically, you know, fantasy. Our fantasy has become real. You know, it was always, this is what we'd like to do. Can you imagine if this happened? And it's happened. It's happened. And it is, in this day and age, to do what we've managed to achieve is fairy tale stuff. It really is. And if you look at non-league football up and down the country, we're in a fantastic position. And we will grow, but we'll grow at our pace at the right time. You know, as I say, it's about having ambition, which you should always have, but doing it in a calculated way. And it's exactly what we've done since we started, Joe.
Yeah.
As
you say,
no, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, we always speak about it. You know, obviously now the success of Coventry City, when we took Coventry City were in the doldrums, and now they're starting to come back, which is fantastic for this city.
Awesome.
And I think we followed them. We followed them. So there's two teams in Coventry, Coventry City and Coventry Sphinx. And that's what we love. We love Coventry City and we love Coventry Sphinx.
And the biggest problem for Sphinx and Coventry around those times had been the coppers. Buzzy, you're in charge of keeping the coin coming in, dishing it out where it needs to be. What were the main challenges, especially this season, in not only ensuring that the club flourishes on the pitch, but also getting Sphinx Drive up to spec and on time? And how did you overcome those difficulties?
Well, we had some loyal fans, and they obviously came in and helped us in that respect. But we got. Are you talking about the funding? Is that what?
Well, in general, of course, like we know that the work on Sphinx Drive and the club as a whole couldn't happen without without money coming in, without supporters, without the entire club being as one.
Well, yes. I mean, as far as the club's concerned, as Joey said earlier, we've got 20-odd teams, and we encourage them to support the bar, and that provides the finance for us to support the ground, the improvements to the ground. We also obviously had to get apply for some funding with regards to the ground, but we have a lot of teams here who all contribute, and yeah, you thrown me a bit actually. Sorry, I'm going to edit this.
That's my job.
I think what Buzz is trying to say is, like, every time they have to contribute. If they don't contribute to the club won't be here.
No.
So, you know, like, the facilities have got better and better and better.
Yeah.
We took a risk off our own back, putting a 9G, you know, like a 3G facility in on a 9-a-side pitch, off our own back, no funding, no nothing. We took that risk, but that risk has paid off for us.
Yeah,
so, you know, we're looking at, you know, like, income stream, trying to generate more money into the club, you know, more teams,
yes,
more people getting involved in the club and stuff like that. So that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah.
So it's not a club for us; it's a club for everyone.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. What Joey says, it's a club for everybody. I mean, going back to what Joey was saying earlier about when we took over from Rolls-Royce, we only had a few teams. We had a bar that used to close at 2 o'clock on a Sunday, and so the way forward was obviously to increase the revenue streams. We created more pitches within the facility behind the stand that was just like barren land, grass, weeds everywhere, to enable more teams to come in. As Joey said, we brought the 3G in, we opened the bar for longer hours, we have more and more functions. So that's how we've managed to generate more income. And moving forward, we want to sort of expand on that. We have a nice ballroom in there, which we'd like to get more and more people having functions in there, big functions for weddings and christenings and communions and funerals and wakes and things like that. That's the way forward for the club in terms of the sustainability of the social club, and the successful social club will benefit everybody, and including the players. And the football side of the club. The other thing is as well, I mean, moving forward, we'd like to try and increase our fan base, and we've got a lot of loyal fans who've supported us really well over the last 12 months and prior to that. But if we could get more fans on board, we've now got a better stadium, a better facility, and a team that's stepped up a level. If we can get more and more people buying into what we've got, that again will help us a lot. I mean, yes, we are aware that we have competition from Coventry City. There can't be many other grassroots teams at our level that are city-based, that have a team that's playing in the Championship, playing really well, could have got to the FA Cup final, could have got to Premier League last year and potentially into the playoffs this year. We're aware that we're competing against those people, but at the same time, if we can bring some of those Coventry City fans into us as well, so that, you know, that's how we see ourselves going forward, really. Yeah.
But also, can I just add to that? Clearly, there's land that's been sold, basically on our border. I think it's 192. Is it
190 houses?
190 houses. They're our neighbours, and we want to entice them to go into. It's not a private club; it's for anybody. and we want to make sure that our neighbours have got a facility where they can come in here. It doesn't have to be about football, not at all. We've got a bowls club over there. It doesn't matter. If they want to come over and have a drink, so they don't have to drive, they can walk around, more than welcome. So more often than not, what usually happens in facilities like this, you come here for a reason. It's either football or it's a function and all the rest of it. We've got neighbours, and we want to look after our neighbours and invite our neighbours on site to use this facility for them and their families. So actually it's worked out quite well. You know, another 190 odd properties on our boundary. Hey, come and have a look, you know. And when they get in here, it's about then winning them over. Do you know what? I've never seen Coventry Sphinx play. They might come and watch us. If they do, hopefully win them over. But I'm going to assure you that the hospitality they'll get here is going to be second to none. The girls, the boys, you know, under Kelly, they work tirelessly to make sure that any client that comes in here is looked after. And if this was, I say, your business, Liam, I'm sure that's exactly what you would do.
It's just, I'll just follow up that up from Danny. Obviously, over the years, the last team to play this stuff, Coventry Sport, and obviously the reason that they folded, the support came, the gates were nothing virtually in the end, and that's the sad thing to think about.
It's tragic.
You know, the second highest rated side in Coventry is not getting enough people through the gate to support it, and that's really sad. You know, look, we want to welcome everyone to Coventry Sphinx. Come down, have a look, see what you think, and you will see some decent football. You know, and that's what we're trying to entice. You know, we're not trying to compete with Coventry City because, you know, we'll never be the same. We're all Coventry City fans. You know, we're all City fans. But come support your second side. I think that's what we're looking for.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we are a club of community at heart,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to the younger members of the community. We have an amazing youth set up, brilliant junior teams. And Danny, we've seen how much it means to you, especially in the presentation that we've just seen when it comes to players who have come up through the ranks, like your Callum Woodward, your Lewis Guest. I mean, could we see the rise of the next Callum Woodward or Lewis Guest through these youth teams?
Yes, you can. We made a bold decision, let's say, probably at the end of last season, whereby our youth setup was inconsistent year by year. And what I mean by that is you've got some sides that come through, and I say, please don't take this as a criticism, but it's reality, that you've got sides that are coming up under 16s. They're good. There might be somebody else, but not as good. So we needed consistency. So what we have done now, we've got Future Pro on site with Demir and his team, including David Phillips, ex-pro. They're on site, and they will be running our youth team. So they will be able to capture a lot of boys from a wider aspect, and I can see, or we can see, that's going to benefit us. I say us as in the first team. It's all about bringing either our own boys and girls through, and we're giving them a pathway to play youth team football and first team football. And Demir, you know, Demir's been on board now, Joey, for what, 2-3 years?
He's just coming up to the end of his second year.
Second year, and that part of the business has really exploded. Of course, with girls and women and all the rest of it. But you know, it's important for them, and it's important for us that there's a clear pathway that his scholars can play youth team football and potentially first team football. So it's a massive bonus for us and for Future Pro. We actually investigated probably 2 or 3 years ago of starting our own academy. When I looked into it, it was a nightmare. But thankfully, Demir was around the corner. We met, we discussed, he's got ambition, and as long as he's got ambition, that's going to help the first team and the youth team. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned there earlier, Liam, about Guesty and Callum, who've come through our junior ranks, and between the pair of them, they must have over 600 appearances at first team level. But there are others as well within the setup. I mean, Jamie Draper was one of our junior players. Both the Downses play for us at junior level. So there are players coming through. I mean, it's difficult for boys who at the age of 16, 17, 18 years of age to make the step up, particularly to step 4. There's a massive gulf between youth level and that sort of thing. But lads are coming through. As Danny says, we've got this tie-up with Future Pro. We've seen one or two of their players play for our team this year. The David
Pawlinski,
yeah, for one. And I think there have been a couple of others that have actually been involved. So, yeah, I mean, they're there, but, you know, it's a bit like at the professional level, isn't it? You know.
And of course, with women's football at its most competitive and popular level for many years, it's great to see our women's team continue to improve and develop, especially the League Cup final coming up against Lightown. How much of an asset is Coventry's highest ranked women's team to Coventry's highest ranked non-league team?
We're honoured that we've got a women's team. We've also got girls' teams. And quite rightly, Liam, you know, women's football it's blown up. We haven't ignored it, we've embraced it. It's part of our club. They've got a big game at the weekend, and we wish them every success. They wear our badge, and anybody who wears our badge deserves great credit, and they'll get the support. So we're delighted, and I hope they go all the way.
Well, from me, obviously, I work with a lot of the girls from the Sphinx women's team during my time at Bedworth. Best of luck, girls. Go and smash it. Moving on to our incredible men's team now, our bread and butter. A new level, a new challenge, some incredibly difficult opposition to face, and some very challenging situations that we found ourselves in on the pitch as well. But we've overcome all of them. The main goal was survival. We've done that. How impressed have all three of you been with not only the dedication of the coaching staff and the team, but also how they've stepped up to the plate?
Impressed. It isn't just down to the joint management. It's about everybody, including players, supporters, committee, this business. You know, we've had to step up to the plate. Fantastic learning curve. I like challenges. I think we've met the challenge. We've very quickly found out very early on in the season that, hey, this is not a foregone conclusion. Everybody has got up their game. And we've done that. Albeit, Neil mentioned earlier on goal difference, we did it. Simple. We could have crushed, we could have deflated and just taken and just go down. We haven't. It just shows you the resolve, the strength, the desire that we've got in this football club. And that, you know, that means everything. That means everything.
I agree. I've been very impressed because for John and Sean in particular and the other coaching staff, it's almost been a 24/7 job for them, and they've got full-time jobs themselves. I know for a fact that in the evenings they must spend most of their time, you know, talking to other managers and looking at different teams, and they've gone out and done scouting and looked at opposition. You know, if we've got a game on a Saturday and one of our opponents has been playing on a Tuesday night, they've gone out to look at the opponents, that sort of thing. From their point of view, it's been non-stop, 24/7, and I've been impressed with them in that respect, in their total commitment to the time and hours and energy that they've put in, and they've kept going. From the beginning of the season, or indeed from the pre-season friendlies, they've kept going and going and going right to the end. And certainly, I bet you, when we heard the final whistle at Hinckley a couple of weeks ago, I bet they thought, great, I could have some time off, but they won't have any time off. They're now already looking at their making their plans for next season as well. So fair play to them, because they don't have a spare 5 minutes themselves from what I can gather.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
We are certainly not arrogant. Okay, we won, we got promoted. We know we were going into a different standard. We didn't know the height of that standard. We don't do arrogant. We are realists. Last season, massive learning curve for us, and you know, we've got the intelligence across the whole club to learn from that and move on. Sorry, Joe, I interrupted.
No worries then.
Or if I can't get a word in edgeways around here.
I'm sorry, I've had too many.
Obviously, you know, like you look at the league and you look at the teams that finished near the top of the league and stuff like that. Massive budgets, and I say it's very hard for a club like us. You know, yeah, if we wanted to, we could compete with them clubs. For how long? Season, 2 seasons, and then what happens? You finish because you run out of money. So we look at everything, you know, very carefully, calculate things. You know, we're here to survive, and we've done it. You know, it took us 5 years to get out of the UCL. Well, 3 years to get out of the UCL, but you know, we've done it. We've planned it. We've gone forward, and we're not going to risk the whole club for the sake, you know, of being promoted to the next level. For what? This club's got to be sustainable. You know, we've got to afford everything we do, and that's what we're trying to do.
And that is where the next challenge comes from. The first season is always difficult, but of course we've all heard of second season syndrome, that some teams have a false sense of security, thinking we've done it once, we can do it again. It can be a lot harder the second season around. So what is the plan for this summer? We've already heard a couple of whispers from the management team. They're ready to go. They're already talking to players, getting people ready to go for the summer. For you guys, what is the ambition for next year? How are you going to achieve it?
We're not going to go above our station. We're going to stay within our means, and it's sustainable. And it's a gradual progression. Like I said earlier on, we walk into situations, we don't sprint. The heart sometimes take over from the brain. We have always been, it's a gradual growth year on year, and that is the safest way to go. We've all got dreams, get that. We've already a dream. We own the land, and we've been promoted. The dream is there, it's happened. Let's not get carried away, let's get real. We've now got to that level, and we will substantially take steps at our pace. We're not going to be bullied into it, and I hope this interview doesn't come across that we're arrogant. We're far from arrogant, we're realists, but we have ambitions and we have dreams, and we are not going to in any circumstances cripple this club because we'll just go. That's not going to happen. We owe it to our forefathers before, and we will continue to go in that direction. It's worked so far.
I would like to see us achieve mid-table. I think that would be another good step forward. I think we can achieve that. I don't think we were a million miles away from mid-table this season, really. I think financially we can afford to go mid-table, whereas in the short term for next season, I think if we were trying to get to top 6 financially, that would be a step too far. I also, as well, would like to see us perhaps win a couple of games in the cups, because that brings
That's the finance.
but that brings finance to the club. I mean, unfortunately, last year we were knocked out of the first round of the FA Cup. We were knocked out of the first round of the Vase. Sorry, not the Vase. I beg your pardon, the Trophy. And the same with the Birmingham Senior Cup. So if we could have a 1 or 2 wins in cup competitions, it brings money to the club, which obviously benefits everybody. So I would like that mid-table and a couple of wins in a cup would from a financial point of view, I would be quite happy with that.
A few seasons ago, a few years ago, we had a fantastic team here, and there was a very, very strong opinion that we were going to win the league and actually move up a level. We actually sat down. We couldn't afford to go to the next level, and we informed the management that we could not afford to go to that level. That killed us. But as we go back, we were realists. It is what it is. You know, the guys, it was Danny Mack, wasn't it? Danny Mack and Lee Nibs, Joe?
Lee Nibs, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, the guys, brilliant, you know, and we were knocking on the door. We were going to go up. Financially, we did not have the dollar. We did not, and it was unsustainable. So we told them, in fairness, around the Christmas, if I remember, and it didn't happen, and then players move on, as we all know. And that's the danger. It's always this thing of like, okay, where do we get to? Are we happy with this? Is it sustainable? If it's not sustainable, then you've got to shout up.
And finally, of course, everything that we do for Coventry Sphinx is about that badge right behind us there, the badge that we all hold so dear. And of course, it doesn't stop over the summer. Kelly and her incredible team, and everyone around the club, they keep on going, they maintain the pitch. We've got so many events going on. We've got the Bowls Club, as you said, the Youth Academy will keep on having their training sessions. What can the City of Coventry look forward to here at Sphinx Drive to keep us going until the ball is finally kicked again in the summer?
That's a massive question, Liam. We've got a business that, between the three of us, have got expertise. Joey, in his own right, is a businessman. He's got his own business, Sphinx Industrial Supplies. And you've got Neil, finance director at Harry Shaw, that is semi-retired, retired and whatever. My background is hospitality. So between the three of us, we have many debates on how this business is going to succeed. We have many arguments, we don't fall out. The whole aspect of what we're trying to do is based on this business. And as long as this business remains profitable, we have got first team. We are, you know, Joey I know has put money in, Buzzy, myself, we put time in. Time does not, you know, it's about dollar. And as a chairman, people come in, throw thousands in, they get bored after 2 or 3 seasons, I'm hemorrhaging money, I'm backing off, and those clubs back down. They go down, they get relegated. It won't happen here. As long as there's business in this place, we're going to be successful. Those tills have got a ring, and I put a massive word out to the local community, whether it's Coventry, you know, and surrounding areas. We're a social club, a football club that is ready for business. We have rooms. You can book out for weddings, funerals, birthday parties, celebrations, whatever you call it. On that basis, as long as this business and the tills ring, we've got first team, no question.
Does it?
Yeah, Liam, to go back to your original question, what we've got going on through the summer, we have Soccer Rocks who are holding their annual tournament, which is brings a lot of teams from local areas, Coventry, Warwickshire area. A lot of kids come in and they come and see the facilities, and it's a good advert for us, and that brings income to us. We have Gaelic football going on through the summer. The pitches there. They play here during the summer. We have a variety of different functions in our function room. We've got presentation evenings. We've got communions, christenings, weddings, and all that sort of thing going on. Also, we've got our walking football that's here every week, which is fronted by Sky Blues in the community, and Dave Bennett's here, and David Buste is often here. That goes on throughout the whole summer, and that's going to continue. And then there will be some football camps going on in the summer, you know, for young children, from sort of 8, 9 years of age through to sort of 12, 13, 14 years of age. So there'll be plenty of activities going on during the summer, and hopefully people will be coming in and, as Danny rightly says, ringing those tills for us.
Well, we hear the ka-chings from here, Danny.
So I just want to just sort of a call out really, the vastness of this football club. We've got ex-players, first team players, who left because they started a family, got married, and they left the club, quite rightly. But they're now coming back as managers, and they're managing the junior teams that are coming through. So there's this circle that you cannot buy, it just happens. And you know, the ex-players coming in, I'll mention AD Fish, Joey.
Yeah.
You know, AD Fish, AD Fisher, what a nice guy, what a player. He's now in the juniors as a manager, and he's got a fantastic team. Joey's nephew, James, my grandson, Franco, are playing at under-8s. My son, who played for the club, is now the manager. So, one of the things, if you walk around this football club, you see photographs on the walls promoting, this is a conveyor belt. This is bringing in, and we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it gets scary quite a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're almost selling ourselves or reselling ourselves. They're coming back. This is the club that ex-players want their sons and daughters playing for the same badge. And you know what? Money can't buy that. It is what it is. It is what it is. And, it's brilliant. We live and breathe the Sphinx. And as I say, it's got to a situation now, Joe, hasn't it? Where, Joe was well in this club before me and Neil. In the local area, he's called the legend, right? And rightly so. And rightly so.
Don't know why.
Well, nor do I.
Must be drunk every Saturday night.
Well, no, but Joe, in all fairness, he's called the ledge. He's called the legend, and he stuck by it. It was crumbling. I was involved. Buzzy was involved, and it's a 360. And our ambition is not to just stay where we are. We want to go higher, without arrogance. Arrogance sometimes is the wrong thing, but we've got a real purpose. We're taking children off the streets, mixing with different backgrounds, different religions, colour, all the rest of it. They've got one thing in common: they love their football. And we're in our watch, we will look after them.
And that's the most wholesome thing we can ever ask for. Ledge, you've got the final word.
I've had enough, Liam.
And I've never heard him say that all year, I must say.
He's put you on a plate, Fletch. Summarise that, man.
Thank you very much,
Liam, thank you, mate.
Cheers, absolute pleasure as always, Buzzy. And a final word from us, closing off the 2023-24 season. Massive thank you to the man who's currently behind the camera. He's just bagged himself a signed shirt, so I don't know why I'm giving him more appreciation. Chris, absolutely incredible all season, the best graphics man and web designer I've ever worked with, so thank you very much. Also, Cahill Contractors are amazing sponsors. I'm even quite safe to say I wouldn't be here without them. The amazing volunteers who've got Sphinx Drive up to date and raring to go for a new generation are incredible players, men, women, kids. Thank you very much. And, well, gentlemen, enjoy your summer. I know, I would say have a nice summer off. We know that's not going to happen, but we'll see you in July to August for another fantastic season of football.
Thank you, Liam.
Thank you, Liam.